thank you for joining me. It's time for another indie spotlight where I take a closer look at an indie game and try to show you the game and what I like about it. And this time it is Archmage Rises. Now, I discovered this game about 2 years ago, wanted to do a video on it, then I took a break from YouTube. I am back now and I would like to show you the game in its current state. As you can see in the bottom right corner, the most recent update is from May of last year. There's some criticism about that in the forums on Steam and in some of the user reviews. However, the developers are sharing their progress, their ideas, what they're going to do on Steam. So I'm very hopeful there will be more updates, and even in its current state I really enjoy playing this. So what I would like to show you is what it's like when you start a new game. So let's do just that. So we can create a new world, or we can use this world. You cannot switch all the options yet. No, those drop downs are not really active. There's a quick character creation which we're going to use because I would like to focus on the gameplay and not so much on, you know, all the prep. And you can choose to have no rivals, like a rival Archmage. Let's stick to that for now, and then we're gonna begin. Alright, the game starts with a lore dump. We're not gonna like read all this, not gonna go through all of this. But I do like that, you know, it's told in with a little story, and you can first pick your gender. You can then either type in your own name that you want to use or roll for different options. Let's go for, I don't know, Jeffrey Iyer. And then we continue. Now we can pick 1 out of 3 starters. And as you can see, each one of them gets bonuses to the interest, their stats, their equipment, and the spells they can use. The Hermit, Pilgrim, for example, or the Arcanist. I'm gonna go with the Hermit for now. And you know, I think you can't really go wrong. I'm sure there's a min-max optimal choice here, but for now, you know, when you first start the game, you really, you will not have really a clue what's really good, what's important. So let's just stick with the Hermit for now. This is the equipment we get in the beginning, and you know, we have some spells because we're an Archmage, and all of these have tooltips, so you can check out what they do. There are some synergies between them. You know, as you can see, foes become frozen at 10 stacks, and same here. And then you have the Ice Lance, which deals some damage, and there are also some passes here. And this is the equipment we get, and we're gonna jump right in. And there is the tutorial, which will guide you through the UI. And this is the first town we're in, and it's called Malverin. And we can either sneak in, which is a skill check, or we can just enter the town gate and pay 5 coins. At the bottom, you can see our current funds. And let me show you the UI real quick. We have, this is our inventory where we can equip different items. Here you can see our spell school power. So right now we've got 5 in this, 5 ice. You can learn like all of these schools, like Arcane, Fire, Storm, and improve them, and that will give you access to different spells and make them more powerful. And here are our stats, how old we are, our hunger, and yes, we will have to eat in between, and our well-being, which I guess is self-explanatory. And then we have magic. This is the spells that we have right now, and you can, for example, level your arcane skill, and this will unlock more spells. And some of them, for example, this is catch your opponent off guard with an otherworldly blow, interrupt an impending attack. So if your opponent will prepare an attack, you can interrupt them with this. And then there's the fire school. All of these spells have a synergy, and so it's really worth trying, you know, experimenting in combat or reading the tooltips, trying to get an idea of what they do. But we're gonna get to that a little later. Here's our quests. It's the seed quest, I guess, breadcrumb quest to talk to this person. The relationships, which is not really relevant in the beginning in my opinion. You can enter some notes here, which is nice, or you can just do it like the old school way. So let us enter this town, and the game will tell you, you know, about the UI, and it will also show you here which services we have, what buildings we have. And you can now click on any of these places and start to talk to people, and they offer different things. For example, this is a town center, so you can basically interact with this person, it's the Lord Mayor. And you also, this is something that took me a while to learn, there are visitors, and I at first didn't even pay like any attention to this, and then later I had to look for a certain person who was in the town hall. But then I figured, oh, okay, there are these people I can click on. So you can talk to these people. You can ask for jobs, which are little quests. For example, how would you describe your relationship with the Conclave since we just started? I don't really know, so I'm just going to say good. And they will ask us to spy on them a little bit. And you can either decline this job or accept it. You can also cancel it if you feel like you don't want to continue. And you can compliment this person, like build affinity with them, which are little skill checks. In some cases, and sometimes they're not. For example, you can ask about certain people. So this is actually questing, where if you have to find out about something, about someone, you can talk to different people in town. And this place offers, for example, the option to build a tower, which will become relevant more later on. You can build your own mage tower and add places to it, which is pretty cool. But we now have our first quest, and I'm not going to go into extreme detail with this. I just want to give you a few glimpses of the gameplay. So let us leave, and he sent us to the Conclave chapter, the Conclave of Mages. And here's the guy we're supposed to talk to. And so we can talk about the quests we have. He will give us another quest. Here is the quest that we were doing for the guy at the town hall. So, you know, this is the way to pick up some easy quests, which will also give you more money and experience and everything. So you have to also make some decisions. For example, I could tell this person that the guy at the city hall asked me to spy on him, or to, you know, communicate about this topic with him. Or, you know, I can just not tell him. And you will see that there are some choices like that more often. So we figured out what's supposed to do. And here is an important piece of advice if you do decide to play this game. Here you can do research, and this is really the way to level your skills, to get a good start to level the skills. For example, if I wanted to do the arcane thing, you saw this spell that I showed you, where you can actually interrupt an impending attack by an enemy. And I just researched arcane for 7 days, gained 52 experience, and here it says, this is the calendar. Time passes with every choice you make. The world will simulate as time passes. Children will be born. People will die of natural causes. Monster layers will multiply. Seasons will pass. You will eventually die of old age. Every decision matters. So, let's close this. Right. And by leveling my arcane skill, I learned this spell, Arcane Bold. I could now research arcane again and hopefully get the next spell. You can do this several times. And at first I didn't realize this, so I was like, oh man, I only have 3 spells. When do I get more? Until I found this out. So there are other places. For example, there's an inn where you can do some, you can pick up some more quests. You could also sleep here, which costs you some money. Once you have your own mage tower, you can sleep there, which is of course more convenient, but building a tower is pretty expensive. You can actually do some work here to earn some money. It's gonna, you can clean the stables for 3 days. You get 20 to 30 gold, and this will decrease your well-being. And your stats, by the way, are here. You have HP, your stamina, and you have your well-being. You can actually start a bar brawl, which will increase your well-being, but you will lose some HP. and you will also lose some relationship with the owner of the bar. And or you can watch a burlesque performance. And so there are ways of like raising your well-being in between. So anyway, there are places where you can actually pick up equipment. For example, the outfitter. What services do you offer? You can buy a hatchet for you know, felling trees in the wilds, a torch, some rations, a camp, lockpicks, heath tools, stuff like that. So it's really worth checking out each one of those places to see what they have to offer. However, I am not going to do that now. I want to show you what it's like when you move through the open world. Now, regarding quests, we were asked to you know, go to the inn Roester. We're supposed to move to another town and continue this quest, and we're supposed to go back to Aitrop Godwin. We're gonna do that, and then we're gonna head out. How about that? So let's see. We were supposed to go to the town center, so we cleared that, and it says if you can finish this job and kill the goblins from here, surely they're yours. So let's check the quest log once again. Kill 5 goblins. You can pick up more quests here, but for now this is just for the purpose of showing you what the open world is like. We're gonna leave. So this is the world map. It's a hex map. And of course, traveling around will cost you some stamina. And as you can see, there is like roads here, which make traveling a bit easier, or you can also try to cross the mountains. And now I'm gonna move, and it tells me I can spot some tracks. So if I double click, I can see, I can do this. I can explore this part of the map, this very area. And as you can see, there's a skill check with a dice roll. And I spent a day exploring, so a day has passed, which also lowers my stamina. And it tells me more about the skill check. And then I figured out from exploring that there is jade to be harvested. So we harvest that because we have a pickaxe. If you don't have a pickaxe in your starting set, you want to buy one in town. And now we have some jade. And you can see here, if you click on this jade vein, it's got 2 more deposits left that you can harvest. Also says we have unidentified tracks. So this is really difficult to track. As you can see, the skill check is pretty high. It will get easier once you raise your skills, of course, but for now we failed. So we're gonna leave, gonna move on to the next field, and again we spot some tracks. Again, high difficulty. We may at some point get lucky to hit the right number. And here the tutorial tells you what I'm showing you right now. So let's move here. We can explore again. And we can see we have black sand, metal vein, and stone slab, which is pretty cool. That's a really nice resource because you can mine all this and bring it back to town and sell it, for example. There will also be quests that will ask you to bring some of this stuff. So we could harvest either one of those, or we can take a look at the tracks, and you can see the skill required here was lower. It was 15. I rolled a 16, plus my survival skill bonus. I have a 21. So many spider tracks lead off to the southeast. So got spiders to deal with. So let's move here. And here are the spiders. And you can make a choice if you want to try and fight them, run, or stealth. And this is of course also skill based. So let us fight them. The goal of combat is survive, you know. I'm just gonna show you the combat instead of like reading the whole tutorial to you. We have action points here. We have our spells right here. We could also use a bow, and we've got quite a few of those spiders. So let us start with Sleet, which deals 5 ice damage to the area and inflicts chilled on affected, knockback on all affected. And so we're gonna try this and see if we can hit like several of these spiders. And we want to make sure, I think it's recommendable, to hit the ones that are closer to you because they are closer to attack. So I just used that spell, and as you can see, did a bit of damage, but not too much. So let us try an Ice Lance. 8 damage, and we have actually enough for one more spell. So let's take that spider out. Now it's the enemy's turn. And this one is preparing to pounce. If I had that arcane skill already that will interrupt impending attacks, then, you know, I could stop that spider from attacking. So the tutorial continues showing us more about the life, you know, about the HP and everything. So let us now attack this one. And we did some AoE damage as well. I think we would try and use it again. Yes. This is going pretty well. However, I'm out of action points now, so I'm going to end my turn. So we have protection, and then once our protection is used up, we will lose HP. So let us see if we can finish this fight quickly. Gonna attack this. Let's try an arcane spell, just for change, and you see this did more damage. Alrighty, so we got 10 XP for the ice spells, and we've got some coin. And then we are still on that map tile that we just did a fight on. And we can either try and follow those tracks. And again, it goes to the southeast. Or we can explore this tile. Right. So as you can see here, we have stone, which is another nice resource to have. So we're going to leave. Now if we go here, again, we're spotting tracks. And we have unidentified tracks, more spider tracks, and more unidentified tracks. These are all tracks of different enemies. So as you can see, this seems to be rather a busy area. And what's really nice is that here on the tiles that you have explored, you can see what resource you found there. So if you later need to farm for some of those materials, or if you get a quest to pick up like stones or jade or something, you will be able to find it again. There's also dungeons in this game, and for example, I've got the quest to kill 5 goblins, and there is you know, the map changes every time, it's random, but there is always like a dungeon with goblins in there, or a spider dungeon or whatever. You will find treasure in there. And so let us see where our spiders went. More spider tracks led to the lair, and then this is the lair, the dungeon I was talking about, the Western Borns. So we have a mini map, and let's see, this is the dungeon right here, and this is now again tile based, like in old games such as Eye of the Beholder, for example. You can move either with the arrow keys or WASD. And then you have these doors that you can click on. If there's anything you can interact with, you can click that as well. Now we're back in the starting room. And let's see. Why can't I interact with that door? That's kind of weird, because I should be able to. So let us see if we can. Oh, maybe it's because I don't have much light. There we go. So here's this cozy little room, no spiders yet. And I'm just hovering over stuff to see if there's anything I can interact with. Apparently I can't. According to my minimap, there's another room here. And there is an ambush by spiders. And here we've got quite a few big spiders too. So let us see what we can. Let's try to take those spiders out quickly. Last time the arcane bolt did quite a bit of damage. So let's try to use that again. 30. Very nice. Must have critted. So now it's the enemy's turn again. Pretty self-explanatory here. These will keep me from running by ensnaring me. Right. So let us try that again. Let's try the AoE spell. And the tricky part is if I hit that rock. Yeah, sometimes I noticed that sometimes when you don't click exactly on an enemy with that AoE spell, you may not do damage to the surrounding ones. I don't know if that's a bug, but that is the reason why I didn't use the AoE, you know, those fields, like perfectly, but was trying to actually aim directly at an enemy like that. But apparently seems to be fixed, seems to be working now. So we don't have enough to use our arcane spell. So let's try and take that spider out. Yay, we managed. Acid shot. Another acid shot. You can see your protection is going down. So let's try this again. Let's see. Oops. There we go. And we pushed back that spider. So let's see. 15. Okay, so last time it crit apparently. Of course, you will eventually get more spells from different schools like Earth and Fire, and then, you know, you can try what's more efficient. You can also combine, and there are different AoE attacks, and so it's actually quite fun to play around with those spells and try different combinations. So this time, I'm gonna use an arcane spell first. Then we have just enough left. Let's use this one now. Right. Let's try that again. Okay, so this is preparing to acid blast. Once again, if we had that arcane spell already to interrupt this, we could do so now, but I guess we can kill it before it actually does that attack. Alrighty, pretty successful. Combat will be harder in many places, and as you can see, I now earned experience with arcane and ice, pretty nice, and we earned some coin. Alrighty, there's actually a quest that I saw in another playthrough where you're supposed to kill spiders and tell the alchemist where you left the corpses so they can go and farm some poison and stuff. So there is a quest that will lead you through the world. So you can see up here's my mini map, and we had a perception check. So you can see highlighting, right. So let's hit that lever. So approaching lever, you feel heat emanating from it. We can now try and cast the spell magic, which we don't have yet, that spell. So it would have been nice to learn that before, but we didn't know, right? Or we can trigger the trap. Detecting a trap provides +2 to dodging it. Alright, the floor beneath your foot sinks slightly. Suddenly, jets of green flame launch from the ceiling. Time seems to stop as you prepare to react. Your perception of 2 allows the use of 12 action points before impact. Trap inflicts 14 to 20 fire damage. So I don't have cast Gale yet, so we're gonna try and dodge with a 70% chance. Yes, nice. And now we're gonna pull the lever again. We don't see it. It may have unlocked that door. I don't know if it was locked before. Let us check if there's anything else in this room we can interact with. Right. And is there anything in here? Nope, not either. And as you can see, we're exploring more and more. Got 3 rooms that we could explore right now. And let us see. There's something on the table. A 5-pointed star has been drawn in blood. So let's go in here. And this is the way you explore a dungeon. There's also different levels to them. Some of them are filled with goblins or with wolves or with spiders. And I have to say, this actually is a ton of fun. So I just returned to town, or actually I did load an old save. We're back in town. And as I said, you can explore different places. You can see what you can do there. You can pick up new quests, you can trade with some vendors. For example, we've got the market, and here you can sell whatever you have, or let's see what we can buy here. We can buy some beer, and we also can buy some armor, which is pretty nice to become a bit more, you know, make it easier to survive. And so it's really worth your time exploring all of this. You can talk to the animal trader, can pick up a horse, for example, or like Rumbleback, which requires animal handling. And so as you can see, there's a lot to discover. It's pretty ambitious for a small team. I think it's like 3 or 4 people working on this. And for example, the outfitter, again, can pick up all the stuff. As you saw, if you don't have a pickaxe, you can pick one up here, or sturdy one as well. And eventually, at first, it will be a little difficult to manage your money if you want to sleep at the inn, or if you want to buy some rations. Later on, some of these quests will award like 1,000 or 2,000 coins, so that makes things a bit easier. And let's take a look at the blacksmith. He will sell different kinds of weapons, like a staff. You can see all the stats here. So as you can see, there's D&D in here with the skill checks of the stats, with the chances of like dodging traps and everything. So for example, here we have a quest where he's asking me to mine some metal. So I could just head out there, pick up that metal, and get my rewards for it. In between, it really makes sense to rest at the inn. And I wish I could show you what it looks like when you start building your tower. It will be a different map. So you build your tower, for example, in this town. You can switch to your tower, you can build different rooms in there. I wish I could show you that. However, the save game that I had is not available anymore because I started a new game. And I think it may also have been outdated with this version of the game. However, I hope that maybe you can see already that this game has quite a lot to offer. I mean, can I get out? Nope, I can't. So I'm getting my wanted level raised, and this was a tough skill check. So that's never good. And you can go out of town. Right now I can't, because there is actually schedules here. For example, some of the places will not be available at night. And as you can see here, wanted level, it's at 40 right now. You can run around and just look for monsters. You can do quests. You can explore dungeons. You can follow quests to other towns, because there are other towns out there. And so there's quite a lot to do. And so I really recommend to try out this game if you can. Because even though the development seems to have slowed down a little bit, I mean, there are new messages by the developers, recent ones from last month, but there hasn't been a significant update recently. I really am having a lot of fun with this already. So check this out. It's available on Steam. Thank you for joining me. I hope this kind of like got you interested in the game and showed you, some of the stuff you can do in the beginning. Don't forget to go to the conclave and train your skills. For example, if I said I want more arcane skill, right? Gain 52 XP, and we got arcane bolt. As I said, I reloaded my save, so the same thing is happening that we had earlier, and we studied again. Let us take a look at our. See, I would need level 3. And as you can see, we've got experience 54 or 70 to get to the next level. And so we can continue doing this. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. I was quite surprised when I tried out this game, because it really sucked me in for a little while. About 2 years ago, I played it again another year ago, and it was really, I started to understand the synergies between different spells, how to fight groups of enemies. It's really important to pick up some armor as well, which I didn't this time because I wanted to jump into the gameplay. Really check this game out. no matter how fast it gets developed, I hope it gets further developed. I hope they won't abandon it, but I don't think so, based on the current new messages. And it's really fun to explore this. And you know, just go in there. Don't spoil it for yourself too much. Just go in there, experiment. And I am pretty sure if you're into D&D kind of games, if what you saw here with the quests, with combat, the way combat works, exploring the world interests you, I think you'll have fun with that. So with that said, thank you for joining me. Hope you enjoyed this little spotlight. You know, if it got you interested, check out the game on Steam. And if you like this video, leave a like. Or if you want to see more like this, then I'd appreciate if you'd subscribe. So thank you for watching, and bye-bye.